Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start here with is 1x10 that I got at the hardware store. I actually did a DIY recently of a chandelier, like an outdoor chandelier. This was a leftover piece and it's about 20 inches long. I'm going to now just draw a couple lines just to make it look like it's planked. And I'm going to take my, what is this? A knife blade. I drew a blank. And I'm just going to score it. And then I'm going to take a couple of screwdrivers and just kind of dent it in more. So it just has a little bit of a deeper, kind of like a dent. And then it just looks a little bit more planked. Once I have that done, then I am going to start painting the board. Now I want this to have a very nautical beachy look. So I am going to use several paints. I'm going to use white paint, coastal blue, as well as serenity blue, all by Rust-Oleum chalk paint line. So I'm going to start with the white here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very lightly rough coat kind of thing the white first. And then I'm going to wipe with a wet rag. I'm going to keep doing that until I have the consistency that I want. I kind of want this to have a very whitewashed look. So I am going to, you can see the rag is really wet actually. It looks dirty, but it really isn't. It's just the rag is an old rag. So I'm just going to keep applying as needed and keep removing with the wet rag as needed until I have what I want. You can certainly leave it as is. Obviously it looks nice, but I just want some of that wood grain to show through. Then I moved on to the Serenity Blue. Isn't it beautiful? Such a pretty color. And I'm going to do the same thing, just a rough coat. And then I am going to apply and wipe off as needed until I have what I want. Blend in just a little bit in between each color. And I'm going to do the same thing with the darker blue, which is the coastal blue. I then took a spade blade and I'm just going to drill 4 holes, 2 on each side. And this is where we're going to thread some rope that will serve as handles for the tray. The rope that I'm using is from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to double it up. And then I'm going to make a nautical sailing knot. And I have no idea how to explain how to do it. But I did Google it and I did watch a couple of videos on YouTube on how to make a sailing knot. And this is what I came up with. So if you want to recreate something like this, by all means, Google it or search it on YouTube. But I made 2 of those. That way I'll have 1 for each side. I did decide to sand down just a little bit more of the board. That way it has a little bit more of a distressed look. And then, yeah, I just sealed it with some polyurethane here, just so it's a little bit more wipeable if something spills on it. It's not really waterproof, but at least it's something that it can be wiped off. So I'm just going to thread the rope. You can see it's 2 ropes per hole. And I'm just going to staple it on the back to secure it in place. And this is my electric stapler. A lot of you ask me, what stapler do I use? The brand name is an Arrow, and I did get it at the hardware store. It's from Home Depot. I got it several years ago, and I love it. I really use pretty much almost in every video I use it. And it just doesn't do any strain on your wrist, and it's just really easy to use. So anyways, once I have the rope here or the handle where I want it, I'm just going to flip it over and secure the other end. That way it's nicely secure and I'm not going anywhere. I then going to take some Waverly wax or teaking wax, and I'm just going to antique it a little bit, just distressing a little bit more on the edges as well as around the handles. finish everything off, I'm just going to place a few of these felt pads that I get at the Dollar Tree, and I am going to take and I'm going to double them up. I'm going to put 2 on each corner. That way it's going to be high enough where it's the felt pads that's going to be on the countertop or the surface instead of the rope. So I wanted the felt pads to lay higher. And this is how that board turned out. I think it turned out stunning. I love the look. I love how beachy, nautical, kind of summery feel it has. And it's just such a solid, good size board. I love it. My friends, this video is in collaboration with these beautiful and talented women. We are part of Heidi's Samble's Creative Champion Contest, and we are on round 3. Out of 9 contestants, the four of us are what's left standing here, and today we are going to be showing you how we made some additional DIYs for the contest. This is one of the ones I submitted to Heidi. It is large, it is wooden, and they are beautiful sandals to hang a towel from. And then this beautiful sailboat that I did using some kind of like driftwood, but they're like firewood that I had left over, and I created it. I just love the way it turned out. If you want to see how I made those 2 DIYs, I'm going to have Heidi Samble's video down below. And also that way you'll have a chance to vote for your favorite. And hopefully that's me. Wink, wink. And you get to vote actually for your favorite, of course. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this piece of paneling. It's kind of like a board, a wooden board that I got at the scrap area at the hardware store for 25 cents. And it was already this size, so I'm just going to smooth it out with my sander. And then I'm going to freehand what will look like a shark bite. And then I did make 2 sets, or like a set. So 2 different, you can see it right there, shark bites. And then I decided to go with the one that goes in a little deeper. I'm using my jigsaw here that I recently got for Mother's Day, and I am going to start cutting through. That way it looks like a shark bit it. And then, of course, I sanded it down just a little bit because it did get very splintery as I was cutting. And, of course, if you're going to use any power tools, please be very careful and follow all safety instructions. Now I'm going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Using my Cricut, I cut out the phrase "swim at your own risk," and I purposely make sure that that K was actually going to fall right into that shark bite. And then the way I'm going to stencil this is I'm going to stencil it a little bit with a blending technique here. And I'm going to use the Coastal Blue by Rust-Oleum chalk paint. And then I'm going to kind of blend it in into the Serenity Blue, and then I'm going to do the risk in the Farmhouse Red from Rust-Oleum chalk paint. And that way it just kind of has the colors that I used earlier, and then of course the risk is just a pop of color for the danger part of it. I'm going to use that Antiquing Wax by Waverly, and I'm just going to start just distressing a little bit of the edges just to make it pop a little bit more and adding a little bit of dimension. I'm going to do that all over the edges, and of course wiping any excess. That way it's just kind of, it's muted, you know, it's just a little bit more of a detail than a huge impact. So I just want this to be a little bit more of a shadow so that it kind of looks like it's been aging and weathering through the months. And that's it for this one, guys. I did add 2 saw hooks to the back, and I think it turned out beautiful. I love this sign. I think is so funny, so fun, and it will look great in any home for summer. If you're visiting for the first time, my name is Leonette, and my channel is all about DIYing, home decor, furniture, painting, thrift store flips, you name it. I'd love for you to subscribe and join our YouTube family. And I also have a Instagram page that I post in daily behind the scenes look, little clips of my videos, as well as hauls that I do at the thrift store and at the hardware store. So check it out. I do have it in the link down below if you would like to connect with me there as well. For the next DIY, I'm going to take one of these pages. Actually, it's going to be one of the blank ones from this book from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to start freehanding here just a little letter. We're going to create a message in a bottle kind of DIY to go along with the nautical beachy summer feel. Once I had something written, I'm going to take that same antiquing wax and I'm just going to start antiquing and shadowing the little page. That way it looks like it's been around for a while. I did end up having to cut a little bit off of it because it was a little too big for the bottle that I was going to be using. So I did cut off a piece and then just antiqued it on the bottom there. Then I'm going to roll it up and I'm going to use some jute twine to tie it in the middle and then place it inside the bottle. I'm going to use some hot glue in one of these little wood stems that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to place it right inside. And then I'm going to take some greenery and I'm just going to start, I'm going to cut a little piece of it. And then I'm going to use some thicker jute rope and I'm going to tie it around with a bow. I'm going to place the greenery right in between it. That way it just adds a little bit of a decor, a little bit more character. And then I am going to hot glue a seashell from the Dollar Tree right on top. And then that's it for this one, guys. I think this one is so stinking cute. I love that it's just a little detail of a DIY. You know, it's just a little decor that you can place in any summer decor. And I think it will look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I am going to show you here in a little bit how everything looks together, including the ones that I did for the championship. Not the championship, for the Creative Champion Contest. There we go. And that way you can see everything together. But don't forget to go down below and check out Heidi's video. But as a matter of fact, what we're doing today is all the ladies that are in the contest, we are going to be doing a hop. So I'm going to have the link of the next person below. That way it'll take you all around, including Heidi's video, where you'll see how I made these two DIYs with the flip-flops and the sailboat. Once again, if you're visiting for the first time, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you consider subscribing and joining our YouTube family. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I always have a playlist here with tons more of inspiration, so feel free to come back whenever you want and take a look at that. Have a blessed day, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.